Mr. Hare, it's up to you.
All right. Hey, good morning. How is everybody? At 7:49. My name's Brad, and glad to be here. My kids came through TIP. Now my grandkids are coming through TIP. Tell by the gray hair, I guess. Today we're going to talk about work ethic. So let's start. This is a conversation, so no right or wrong answers. Please jump in. Think about your one person in your life that you know that is the hardest worker.
My dad.
Okay? Who said that? Tell me about him. What makes him hardest worker?
Because he wakes up every day to go to work earlier than us to go to school. And he has to dress just like us to go to school and pay for everything that I want, my dad, my mom wants, and keep the bills up.
Fantastic. That's good. Anybody else want to share? Go ahead.
My dad,
Tell me about him.
he's a Dayton lieutenant for the firefighters.
Oh, wonderful.
And he's got like a lot of awards and stuff for what he does, stuff like that.
Gotcha. And dangerous line of work,
Yeah.
right? Anybody else care to share? Go ahead.
My dad, like, he works 2 jobs, and like one of the jobs he just does for fun.
Okay.
He just like fun,
Does he must enjoy it?
I guess.
Okay. Work ethic. What is it? What do you think? Go ahead.
Like when people have the drive to do the work they need to get done.
Okay, good. Gotta have a drive,
Not being late to work.
not being late to work, showing up.
Mhm.
So I heard you say about your dad,
Yeah.
shows up. Same with your dad. Sounds like same with her dad. 2 jobs, right? I'll give you a tale of 2 cities. I have 2 sons. They're both graduated from here and UC, and they all have families now. My oldest son was by far the one that had to have the latest Call of Duty game. He had to have the latest phone, whatever, the latest Apple and all that. So he'd go out and work, and he'd come to me and he'd ask me, hey, what do we need to do to, can I make some money, can I earn some money? He was motivated. I shared this story, I shared this a few years ago at the class, and this was the one that I got responses back the most from. My youngest, on the other hand, very athletic kid, and that's as far as we're gonna go. Came up to me one day and said, I tell you what, I'll go mow the grass. How about 20 bucks? All right, I'll give you 20 bucks, go out and mow the grass. He came in about 4 minutes later, didn't get the grass mowed, did like 3 strips in the front, and he comes in and he says, Dad, I didn't get it done. I'll just take 10. You ain't getting anything. Difference in work ethic, right? Do you think you're born with work ethic?
No.
Talk to me.
I don't think you're born with it because maybe if you are born into a life where you get more things where you don't have to work for more, like where you have to work more,
Mhm.
less more, I feel like if you have more or less things, you have to work harder to get what you want. Compared to someone who gets what he wants, he doesn't work as hard.
Yeah. Good. Good. Do you feel that you get work ethic observing others?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. How many have jobs? Few of you? One of you? When you work, are you reliant that other team members join you?
Good morning, 7 students. At this time, we are
Kind of.
beginning
but,
our
I don't
picture
need it.
taking session.
Most of the time I
At
don't
this
need
time,
it.
we need all freshmen with the last names of A through F. Please report to the gymnasium to have your pictures taken. If by chance you've forgotten your money or your order form, no worries, just chat with the photographer and they'll be able to tell you how to take care of that at a later date. Again, freshmen A through F, please report to the gymnasium for your pictures.
All right. So if, going back, if you don't show up, what happens?
if I don't show up, usually like the whole shift like goes downhill. Like,
Imbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do very well.
So showing up is important, not only for you, but team members, because it weighs down if one person. So maybe when we're talking, having this conversation about work ethic, number one is I do believe accountability is a big part of that. I've had the privilege over many years of managing portfolios, people's money. And I always found a common thread with the millionaires, if you will. And it's number one is their vision. They have a vision from a 30,000 foot view down to a 1,000 foot view. And they're driven and they're motivated. And I've heard they're in early, they come in first, they're out last, right? I mean, that is what motivates, what drives, what propels. Do you think that's a part of that makes work ethic? What about this statement? Tell me if you think this is true. So, any musicians in here? What do you play? Guitar and sing? Okay. So, do you feel that, or do you practice? Let me ask you, do you practice? Okay. And you practice a lot?
Yeah.
Okay. And the more you practice, the better you get?
Yeah.
Would you agree that work ethic's what gets you to the practice?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, like, I guess it's more like a future wanting to, like, be successful, so, like, having the drive to want to do that in the future because, like, you need to get better today so you can get better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you look at Patrick Mahomes, for you football fans, arguably the best quarterback in the league, or inarguably, I don't know. He always wasn't that way, right? He's talented, he's practiced over and over and over again, but probably what makes him special is the fact of his ability and his drive to show up to practice. He has always been touted as the first player in, the first player last to leave. Taylor Swift, I know it just makes a lot of news or in the headlines lately. Taylor Swift, I mean, she's a talented songwriter, singer, all that. But would she have been if she didn't have the drive? If she didn't have the work ethic? What are your thoughts? So let's conclude on this note that work ethic's what gets you to a point. Right? Is it easy to have work ethic?
No.
Describe, talk to me. Is it easy to get up in the morning to go out and run? Okay. My oldest son, same one I was telling you about that was very motivated, played football here at Tip, was the slowest kid on the football team. Bar none. I don't know. He just was slow. He wasn't that big. Just ran 14 miles in under 7 minutes a mile. I don't know what happened, but his work ethic changed. It's crazy. And he's 30. He also got in that goofy thing where you sit in a cold plunge. Any of you done that or heard about that? I didn't say he's a bright kid. Work ethic, it changes. You can change it. Same dynamic with my youngest. His room was a disaster when he was growing up. A disaster. Now he's very meticulous. He has a wife and baby, and he is very, very meticulous. What happened? He changed. Changed his habits. Changed his work ethic. So I am going to pull my phone out. I have a couple of traits on work ethic, and I want you to tell me if you agree with these. Get my cheaters on. Here's some key elements of work ethic according to whatever I was looking at. Reliability, being trustworthy and keeping your word. Integrity, preserving morality, and honesty. Professionalism, upholding the norms of conduct set by the industry. Your thoughts, what do you got? You agree with those? Disagree? You can disagree. What are your thoughts? Reliability, integrity, and professionalism.
Agree.
Okay. What's integrity? Go ahead.
Doing what you're supposed to do when no one's like supervising you or no one's paying attention.
When nobody's looking, how are you acting? Right?
Yeah.
Is that hard?
Yes.
Yeah? No? Yeah, I see both. When nobody's around, when Mrs. Potter's gone, and you have a sub, what does that look like? I say that because I was a sub here for a while. In the off season, we owned 2 KOA campgrounds up in northern New Hampshire, so we had a few months here. So acting and doing the things that when nobody's around consistently. Discipline. Is discipline important?
Yeah.
Tell me how. How is discipline important?
If you don't get disciplined in doing something that's bad, you're just gonna keep continually doing it over again.
Yeah.
You're just never gonna learn.
Sorry?
You're just never gonna learn.
Yeah. So that leads me into accountability. Go back to your work. You're accountable to everybody on your team as well as everybody on your team is, and there's always one laggard, right? There's always one person that doesn't get it. They sleep in, they come in late, not much of a work ethic. Good news is, maybe they change. Not always probable, right? Okay. Anything else about that? Let me continue. You guys are quiet. I know it's early. Here's the definition. Webster's has for you. Work ethic is a belief in work as a moral good, a set of values centered on the importance of doing work, and reflected especially in a desire or determination to work hard. We always talk about, when we own our KOA parks, work smarter, not harder. Tell me about values. Are they important? And what are they? Go ahead.
Values are like the thing, it's like your goal, it's what you want to like reach in the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's like the number one thing that you're going for.
Good. How do you get them?
You just gotta work for it.
Mm-hmm. Do you observe values?
Not really.
Does anybody instill values on you?
I mean, somebody could like give you a goal to reach, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now, for these three here that talked about their dads, ultimately, you're seeing your father and you're watching that he gets up first. He's got 2 jobs to help supply, and is a firefighter and protects people and saves people's lives at times, I'm sure. So does that permeate through to any of you? Do you feel that observing what parents, grandparents, relatives, friends, does that permeate to you?
Yes.
Can you get bad values? Is there such a thing as bad values?
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell me more.
Maybe if you were like, let's say, growing up with not like such a good childhood, and you had like a bad father, maybe
Mhm.
you like kind of inherit bad values from him.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And it could also serve, and this will go here, is motivator. Could it be a motivator to you? And talk about motivators. What motivates you? What drives you? What gets you up in the morning? Other than school, I get it. But what gets you up? Go ahead.
Moving out.
Moving out. So getting to that point where you get the ability to move out, okay? And that motivates you. So obviously you got a job, so this is the time where you're setting some money aside. I read you. Okay, good. What else motivates? What motivates you?
To become the best.
Become the best. Best what?
Maybe at sports or school.
Okay. How does that propel you then?
Because if I'm doing more than what other people are doing, you're gradually going to become the best eventually.
sorry?
Like just self-accomplishment.
I'm hard of hearing.
Self-accomplishment.
Okay, go on.
Like, when I finish a book, I get like, I feel like really accomplished. I put it on my shelf as a little trophy.
Nice.
So then I ended up reading a lot.
You know what the most profound 3 words I've ever heard in my life are? Readers are leaders. So you're a good reader. You like to read. And when you finish a book, that's an accomplishment. Excellent. What else? What else drives you? What motivates you? No right or wrong answers here.
Sports.
Sports. Tell me more.
Like having a good game or like having a coach tell you just like stuff that can motivate you
Mm-hmm.
to be better.
Good.
Like parents,
Mm-hmm.
like if you were like at a baseball game and you wanted to do good for your parents,
Mm-hmm.
like to show them that you're worthy, maybe.
Comes down to integrity too.
Staff and students, at this time, we would like all freshmen